Now, a couple of weeks ago, I told you about a new program the government's trying to do now for 2 years of free college at the community college. That's either training or the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree, and to have it free for everybody. And it sounds like great. I mean, education is so important in our country, and people are in debt for college loans now more than they are credit card debt. It's just stupid, because education is what's going to grow our country. So the more we invest in people, to get educated, to grow our country, obviously the better we all are off. Okay, so what's happening now is that, hey, everybody's for or against this. So here's an interview about a fellow who monitors this. See, there's a lot of people in Washington who just follows politics on every issue. So this fellow follows the politics of this, and I'll tell you sort of like what's the good part of this. Now, there's good and bad and everything, right? So he's going to tell you the good parts.
Michael Stratford, Inside Higher Ed. So you're like a blogger in Washington, D.C. It keeps track of all the stuff we're doing in higher education, which is probably the most important thing we have to do in this country now. I think all that other nonsense going on in Washington, who cares, man, if we're not educated? That seems the best way to get growth. But more importantly, Michael, I'm trying to figure out, educate people about this new proposal that Obama has coming up for giving 2 years of college for free. What's that all about? Tell us.
That's right. Well, the president proposed earlier this month and in his State of the Union address a plan that he's going to be submitting to Congress to make community college tuition free nationwide. His goal is that students who meet certain minimum standards and states that have programs that meet certain minimum standards would be able to attend college, community college for at least 2 years, tuition free. That doesn't include the cost of other expenses you would have. Room and board, books, supplies.
Well, you can still get the other government money for that, right? Instead of using it for tuition.
That's right. The administration imagines that that this program will cover tuition, and then you'll still have access to other federal aid programs to take care of other expenses.
Now, I understand that you have to have a certain grade point average. What is the grade point average again?
You would have to maintain a 2.5 GPA.
2.5. That would cut me out.
And be enrolled at least half-time.
Half-time. So half-time, 2.5, which is not a big bar to reach. And so no income requirement, right? And you go 2 years for free. That's fantastic. I mean, people are going to these private universities where they're charging them $30,000 a year or something. And who knows that all they're getting is your student loan money, and it's from the data I see, these private for-profit people are got like 90% of their money comes from you getting a government loan and paying for it. And so I think this is great, but that's my personal opinion. So then, there's a process this has to go through yet. What has to happen for this to maybe happen?
For this to happen at all, Congress would have to sign off. Which the proposal, it seems like it has pretty tough odds in this Republican-controlled Congress. Republicans have expressed concern about the price tag of the program, which would be at $60 billion over the next 10 years for taxpayers. And so it doesn't look like this proposal has too much traction in the current Congress. Although, notably, some Republicans, Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee, the Republican who chairs the Senate's Education Committee, he's said that he likes the idea of this program at the state level, and there is a program that's similar in his home state of Tennessee, but doesn't like the idea of replicating it nationally.
I see.
That's sort
so
of
he's for the program. So is there wiggle room to get something that's not exactly what the president says, or to make some of the Republicans happier?
There may be, but it seems like, to me, one of the more interesting sort of reactions to this might be the level of expectation that's put on states, even in the absence of Congress agreeing to spend more money, which seems unlikely in the immediate future. I think the administration has sort of recognized this, and they've talked about this proposal in very broad terms, and talking about it in terms of a paradigm shift, and likening it to a national expectation that high school is free, and that we need to extend the availability of free public education beyond high school. So they're talking about it in very broad terms, and
but at least we're talking about community colleges. I mean, most people get hit with advertisement of going to some for-profit university, you know, for 20, 30 grand instead of going to a community college for $1,500 or whatever it is, you know. And so just to talk about it is, to me, and I don't know if you know about that, I believe in it so much, but I'm biased. I started a scholarship program, a local community college called I Don't Need My Government Money Scholarship Fund, because I get government money like from the Social Security. I don't need it, you know, and in my zip code we get millionaires getting that money, and you know, like $2-3 grand a month, and I don't need it, and a kid could go to college for that kind of money. So it's kind of, we invest in that for the future is a lot better than giving rich old folks. You know, but so that's why I'm trying to shame other old people to give the extra money they get. The kids who go to college, higher education not be better. So I'm glad you're covering this, Michael, and trying to keep us informed about potential opportunities out there. And that, so the website is InsideHigherEd.com, org, or what? .com?
.com.
Okay, InsideHigherEd.com. Michael Stratford, thank you so much. And you're in Washington, down the street from me, and look at, we're using the international networks to talk to each other instead of going to Tris or somewhere like that. Take care, Michael. Thank you again.
Thanks a lot. Take care.